Have you ever felt that annoying tingling in your feet, like 1,000 tiny ants are crawling under your skin? Or perhaps your toes occasionally feel numb, almost as if you are walking on cotton wool? Many people over 60 know this feeling all too well, and often they are told that it is simply a normal part of getting older. But I am telling you today as a medical professional very clearly, that is not true. That tingling, that burning, or that numbness are not normal signs of aging, but a loud cry for help from your nervous system. Your nerves are literally starving because they are missing one very specific key substance. When this substance is lacking, the protective sheath of your nerves breaks down, much like the insulation on an old electrical cable, until short circuits occur. The good news, however, is that we can not only stop this process, but in many cases actually reverse it. Today we are talking about the one vitamin that is considered the ultimate shield for your nerves, and how you can use it to stop neuropathy and regain your quality of life. Stay tuned, because we are going to look at why conventional vitamins often don't help and what special secret science has discovered to repair your nerve pathways. Let's dive straight into the topic without wasting any time. When we talk about nerve pain, numbness, or that pins and needles sensation, we are talking medically about peripheral neuropathy. Imagine your nervous system like a highly complex fiber optic network that conducts signals from your brain down to your smallest toe. For these signals to arrive lightning fast and without interference, the nerve pathways need a layer of insulation called the myelin sheath. Without this layer, the signals get muddled, they arrive too weak, or they are misinterpreted. The result is what you feel: pain, tingling, or a complete loss of sensation. This is where our main character comes in: vitamin B12, but not just in any form, but in its highly active, bioavailable form. Why is vitamin B12 so crucial? It is the master builder of this insulating layer. Without sufficient B12, your body cannot repair the nerve sheaths. It is like trying to build a house, but the supplier for the cement simply doesn't show up. The problem with seniors, however, is not always that they eat too little vitamin B12. Many consume meat, eggs, and dairy products, which should actually provide enough. The real problem often lies hidden in the stomach. To absorb vitamin B12 from food, the body needs something called intrinsic factor, a special protein produced in the stomach. As we age, the production of this substance often drops significantly. In addition, many seniors take medications for heartburn or blood sugar that massively block the absorption of B12. This means that even if you eat the best foods, hardly any of that valuable nerve vitamin reaches your blood. Your nerves continue to hunger even though your plate is full. But there is a breakthrough in research that many people do not yet know about. It concerns a special fat-soluble form of B vitamins, specifically benfotiamine, a precursor of vitamin B1. Why is this important for your nerves? While normal vitamin B1 is water-soluble and is quickly excreted by the body, benfotiamine can penetrate much deeper into the nerve tissue. It acts like a shield against harmful sugar degradation products that literally gum up the nerve cells. So, if you suffer from neuropathy, a simple multivitamin supplement is often not enough. You need a targeted strategy that bypasses your body's absorption barriers and brings the nutrients exactly where the damage has occurred, directly to the nerve endings in your feet and hands. Let's go deeper into the biochemical processes, because only if you understand what is happening in your body can you make the right decisions. When nerves are damaged, it is often due to a combination of oxidative stress and a lack of energy supply to the cells. Nerve cells are extremely energy hungry. The small power plants in the cells, the mitochondria, need B vitamins to produce energy. If these are missing, the nerve cell switches to emergency mode, so to speak. It becomes hypersensitive, which leads to those burning pains. Or it gives up entirely, which explains the numbness. In my practice, I often see patients who have been taking pain medication for their neuropathy for years. The problem with this is that pain medication only turns off the siren, but it doesn't extinguish the fire. It numbs the body's warning signal while the nerves continue to degenerate beneath the surface. The right approach is regeneration. We must give the nervous system the building blocks it needs to heal itself. In addition to vitamin B12 and benfotiamine, alpha-lipoic acid also plays a decisive role. This is an extremely powerful antioxidant that is effective in both water and fat. It can penetrate into every tiny corner of your nerve cells and neutralize the free radicals that attack the cell walls. Studies have shown that the combination of high-dose B vitamins and alpha-lipoic acid can significantly alleviate the symptoms of neuropathy within a few weeks. This is not magic. It is applied biology. We are replenishing the stores that have been emptied over years. A point that is often overlooked is the quality of the supplements. If you go to a drugstore and buy the cheapest vitamin preparation, it usually contains cyanocobalamin. This is a synthetic form of B12 that contains a cyanide molecule. The body must first laboriously convert this form in the liver before it can use it. Much more effective is methylcobalamin, or adenosylcobalamin. These are the forms that the body recognizes directly and can incorporate into the nerve pathways without detours. So, when you invest in your health, pay attention to the ingredients. It is better to take a high-quality preparation that really arrives than to swallow vast amounts of cheap tablets that only put additional strain on the body. But let's also talk about nutrition, because pills alone are only half the truth. To protect your nerves, we must lower the inflammation levels in the body. Sugar is the biggest enemy here. A high blood sugar level damages the small blood vessels that supply the nerves. Imagine the highway to your nerves is congested or damaged. No matter how much fuel, meaning vitamins, you deliver, they don't arrive. A diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as those found in flaxseed oil, walnuts, or fatty sea fish, acts like a lubricating oil for your nerve pathways. These fats are incorporated directly into the nerve sheaths and make them elastic and resilient. I remember a patient, let's call him Robert, 72 years old. He could hardly sleep at night because his feet burned as if he were walking on glowing coals. He had tried various strong medications, which only made him drowsy without really healing the pain. When we examined his vitamin levels, we found a massive B12 deficiency, even though he ate meat regularly. We changed his therapy. He received high-dose methylcobalamin and benfotiamine, combined with a reduction of simple sugar in his diet. After 3 months, he called me and said he could feel the texture of the carpet under his feet again. For a person with neuropathy, that is a massive step forward. It shows us that the nervous system has an amazing ability to repair itself if we only provide it with the right tools. What can you specifically do today? The first step is a blood test, but be careful. A normal B12 test in the blood often only measures the total B12, even the part that the body cannot use at all. Ask your doctor specifically for the hollow transcobalamin value, or hollow TC for short. This is the active part of the vitamin that really tells you about your nerve supply. If this value is too low, you should act. For seniors, it often makes sense to initially supply the vitamin through injections to bypass the gastrointestinal tract and fill the stores quickly. Later, you can switch to high-dose lozenges, as absorption through the oral mucosa often works better than through the stomach. Let's talk about another important partner for your nerves, magnesium. Many people know that magnesium is good for leg cramps, but it is also essential for nerve conduction. If magnesium is missing, the nerves become overexcitable. This often manifests in that nasty twitching or restless legs in the evening. Magnesium doesn't just relax the muscles, it also calms the overstimulated nerve pathways. Together with the B vitamins, it forms an unbeatable team for your neuronal health. An important aspect that I always emphasize in my daily work is patience. Nerves grow slowly. They regenerate at a rate of about 1 millimeter per day. This means that if the damage has occurred over years, we cannot expect it to disappear in 3 days. But every day that you supply your body with the right nutrients is a day that the repair progresses. It is like gardening. You water the plant, and you don't immediately see it grow. But after a few weeks, you suddenly notice the first green leaf. Be consistent with your nutrient intake and give your body the time it needs. In addition to nutrient therapy, exercise is an underestimated factor for nerve regeneration. When you move, you promote blood circulation down to the finest capillaries of your feet. More blood flow means more oxygen and more nutrients for the hungry nerve cells. It doesn't have to be a marathon. A daily walk, gentle bouncing on your tiptoes while brushing your teeth, or special exercises for the foot muscles can work wonders. There are great reflexology balls that you can use to massage the soles of your feet. This activates the nerve endings and gives the brain new stimuli. It is like training for sensitivity. We also need to talk about the psychological burden of neuropathy. Chronic pain and the feeling of numbness can be very lonely. You no longer trust yourself as much, you are afraid of falling, or you withdraw from social activities. But precisely this stress releases cortisol, a hormone that promotes inflammation in the body and hinders nerve regeneration. Find relaxation techniques that bring you joy, whether it's meditation, listening to beautiful music, or a conversation with friends. Everything that lowers your stress level helps your nerves to recover. A calm mind is the best basis for a healing body. Let's briefly address the topic of alcohol. even if it might be uncomfortable. Alcohol is a direct neurotoxin. In excess, it massively withdraws the B vitamins from the body that we are talking about today. If you already suffer from nerve damage, it is advisable to reduce alcohol consumption as much as possible. Every sip less is a relief for your nervous system and gives the repair mechanisms a better chance. See it as a cure for your mind and your nerves. Your body will thank you with more stability and less pain. I am often asked if there are also natural sources for this power vitamin. Of course. Liver, sea fish, eggs, and grass-fed meat are excellent sources of B12. But as I said, in old age, the absorption is the problem. Therefore, I often recommend a combination: a nutrient-rich, low-sugar diet as a base, and targeted, high-quality supplements as a turbo for regeneration. It is like a car. You need good fuel, but if the engine is dirty, you sometimes also need a special cleaner to get everything running again. Particularly important for diabetics among you, the medication metformin, which is very commonly prescribed, is a known B12 robber. If you take this medication, the probability is extremely high that your neuropathy is worsened by a drug-induced vitamin deficiency. In this case, supplementation is actually a must. Talk to your doctor about it. Often physicians know about this connection but forget to point it out to patients in the stressful daily routine of the clinic. Be proactive for your own health here. Another interesting active ingredient is vitamin B6. It is also important for the nerves, but here the dose makes the poison. While a small deficiency in B6 can trigger neuropathy, an extreme overdose over a long time can also irritate the nerves. That is why it is so important not to indiscriminately swallow any high-dose preparations, but to pay attention to a balanced composition. Nature usually delivers these substances together, and that is how we should supply them to our body. A complex preparation that contains all B vitamins in a reasonable ratio is often more sensible than an isolated overdose of only one substance. Added to this is the topic of light and vitamin D. Did you know that vitamin D is actually a hormone that stimulates the production of nerve growth factors? Without this light hormone, the nerves have less incentive to regenerate. Especially in the dark months, almost all seniors in our latitudes have a deficiency. A good vitamin D level not only helps the bones but is essential for neuronal health. It supports the immune defense of the nervous system and helps to reduce inflammation. To summarize, neuropathy is not a fate that you have to accept. Your nerves have an incredible potential for healing if you provide them with the right conditions. The foundation is active vitamin B12, supported by the fat-soluble power of benfotiamine and the antioxidant effect of alpha-lipoic acid. Combine this with a low-sugar, omega-3 rich diet and regular gentle exercise. Imagine what it would be like if the burning in your feet subsided, if you could stand securely again because you feel the ground beneath you, if you could sleep through the night again without being woken up by tingling. This is not a distant utopia. It is an achievable goal for many people. Start taking the small steps today. Check your medication. Have your blood values checked, and choose high-quality support for your body. It is fascinating to see how much modern research is changing our view of aging. We know today that the brain and nerves remain plastic until old age, meaning they are changeable and repairable. The idea that from a certain age you simply have to live with the fact that your senses fade is outdated. We have the tools today to keep our hardware functional for as long as possible. This is not only about the absence of pain, but about active participation in life. If you can walk safely, you can travel, you can play with your grandchildren in the garden, you can remain autonomous. And that is exactly what geriatric medicine is about, your freedom. Don't be discouraged if success doesn't come overnight. Consistency is the key. Take your health into your own hands. Become an expert on your own body. When you go to the doctor, be prepared. Ask questions about the hollow TC value, about benfotiamine, and about the interactions of your medications. An informed patient often gets better treatment because they provide the right impulses. We also know today that gut health plays a huge role. An inflamed gut cannot absorb vitamins, no matter how high quality they are. Probiotic foods such as sauerkraut, kefir, or yogurt support your gut flora and ensure that the barrier for nutrients remains permeable. It is all a large cycle. If you care for your gut, you also care for your nerves. If you control your blood sugar, you protect your vessels, which in turn nourish the nerves. Remember, every step counts. Maybe you start today by leaving out the sugar in your coffee, or buying a high-quality flaxseed oil for your salad. Maybe you call the doctor tomorrow to make an appointment for a blood test. These small decisions add up over the weeks and months to a gewaltive change in your quality of life. Your body is a wonder of nature and it fights for you every day. Give it the support it deserves. In my years of experience, I have repeatedly found that the simplest solutions are often the most effective. We often look for the complicated new drug, yet the answer often lies in the basic supply of our cells. The nerves do not need chemical sedatives. They need nourishment, protection, and energy. Vitamin B12 in its active form is this decisive building block. I want you to leave this video with a feeling of confidence. You now have the knowledge to break the vicious cycle of neuropathy. You know which vitamins are important, why the form of the vitamin is crucial, and how important the protection of the nerve sheaths is for your mobility. Use this knowledge. Be good to yourself. Your nervous system is your connection to the world, your window to perception. Keep this window clean and clear. It is never too late to start. Whether you are 60, 70, or 80 years old, your body responds to good care. Regeneration is a biological program that is anchored in all of us. We only have to activate it. I wish you much strength and stamina on this path. Pay attention to the signs of your body, listen to the tingling, and answer with the right nutrients. Your body will thank you with more pain-free days and a new lightness in your steps. We have discussed a lot today, from the bioactive forms of B12 to the fat-soluble power of benfotiamine, to the importance of nutrition and stress management. All these puzzle pieces together result in the picture of a targeted nerve therapy. Make this picture your reality. Stay informed, stay active, and above all, stay hopeful. Your path to healthier nerves begins with the decision you make today. Take good care of yourself and your valuable nervous system. Imagine the freedom of movement that awaits you when those signals between your feet and your brain become clear again. No more second-guessing every step, no more fear of the dark or uneven surfaces. When your nerves are protected, your confidence returns. You aren't just treating a symptom, you are reclaiming your independence. Every bite of nerve-healthy food and every supplement that actually reaches its target is an investment in your future. As we wrap things up, think about how amazing your body really is. It has survived decades of movement, work, and stress. It knows how to fix things. It just needs the supply chain to be working. By focusing on B12 and the fat-soluble B vitamins, you are fixing the logistics of your body's repair system. You are the manager of your own health department. Give your workers, those billions of nerve cells, exactly what they need to succeed. I look forward to hearing about your progress. Take it one day at a time, one meal at a time, and 1 millimeter of nerve growth at a time. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And for those of us with neuropathy, we want those steps to be comfortable and sure. Thank you for spending this time with me. You have the power to protect your nerves, and you have the power to stop the pain. See you in the next one. Stay healthy.